You're gonna see some serious shit.
Yeah. Back in the day vibes. Geek out. Let's ride. From the 80s arcades to the 90s block, Walkman's bumping, now the podcast rock. Cartoons after school, VHS rewind. Talking X-Men, Sega, that golden time. Geek In Geek Out, where the stories get loud. From the past to now, make the ramble crowd proud. 80s, 90s, 2000s flow. If you live that life, then you already know. So press play, kick back, let the memory speak. Geek In Geek Out, every day of the week.
What is happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Geek In Geek Out with Podcast Collide. You guys heard it on the trailer. We're gonna do some reviewing and we're gonna reveal. But I'm not doing this by myself. I got my podcast twin, my podcast compadre, the one and only Mr. Inside the Northside.
The nose side.
I'm talking like a redact here. The Inside the Northside, Mr. Yuli Ramos here.
What's up, guys? I'm over here in the X Mansion. Professor Charles Xavier let me do the podcast here because he heard that I might be homeless, and he knows he likes to take in homeless mutants and whatnot. So I told him I had a podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, knock yourself out. I don't give a fuck." So I'm on the X Wi-Fi and everything, guys. So,
and I'm in the Ramble Castle.
And yes, you the castle of Dr. Doom.
You know what? I would be the Dr. Doom of podcasts. I'm the only one that feels they can handle it, and I feel that I'm the only one that can adjust and make it right in my image.
That's what I mean. Hey, I agree with you. That's why you made yourself the Doom in the picture, and I'm Cyclops.
Oh yeah, not the gay Cyclops. I made you Cyclops.
Might be a little gay.
No big gay. My bad, guys. I'm drinking my fucking protein shake right now in the morning. This is an early morning episode right now for us.
Yes, it is. But hey, I'm good with it. I ain't got nothing else going on. Anyways,
so D23 this past weekend announced a bunch of fucking stuff. Obviously, Vision Quest came out.
Yes, Vision Quest came out. That trailer was really, really good.
That actually piqued my fucking interest, though. When I heard it originally, when they pitched it to us 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. You're gonna hear morning cough here. I was kind of like, because I'm done with the Marvel TV shows. I think after the fucking the Miss Marvel whatever bitch, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch that shit anymore. And obviously with Daredevil, like okay, and then I still haven't watched the Punisher shit, but I was like, okay, maybe they found the formula that I feel like they dropped the ball sometimes. I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck with it. She-Hulk was a fucking huge blunder. Ironheart, huge blunder. So I'm like, I don't know about Vision Quest, especially because Vision Quest has been slated to come out for a while. And so when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, this is you have my interest now. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm hoping they didn't give us the best just in the trailer, and then the rest is just like 6 episodes of just blah.
Yeah, because they're known for doing that. But I mean, the trailer looks really good. I like this whole concept of like him going into like his mind and living like this, like kind of like weird world where everyone's like humanoid, but they look human. And it's gonna be really interesting because you're right.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be slated for a couple of years ago, that and Armor Wars, but we're never probably gonna get Armor Wars ever again.
No.
But this one, it looked really good. I was like, man, this is crazy. And then we're getting Ultron back, which is pretty exciting,
Which is funny because I kept people hearing, "Oh, he died." You got to remember that Ultron is Vision. A little bit of, if you guys watch Avengers, it was Age of Ultron. They basically say, and even in the Infinity Wars, Vision is a little bit of Tony, Bruce, and Ultron. So obviously, there's gonna be a slight piece of Ultron in this guy's fucking psyche, and in his fucking whatever the fuck his database. And James Spader, right?
Yeah, James Spader.
Yeah, James Spader. Thank you. He comes out, and his voice and his presence alone just fucking makes that trailer to me. I'm like, okay, I'm interested. He's the antagonist. And then obviously, is he going to be the villain? Is he going to be the one that's kind of going to figure it out to get out?
Yeah, because I mean, that, like you said in Age of Ultron, his body was was terminated, but his consciousness, his mind, obviously traveled to some far off to where nobody knew where he was. But also, I'm sure it's basically in Vision as well. So
I think
we're
it's in
getting
Vision.
into Vision's mind, and he's still there, obviously, because Ultron is his creator, you know, or his dad, as they want to say
Yeah,
in the trailer. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. And yeah, James Spader kills it. His voice is very like calm, but also sounds very manic and very
menacing.
like Hannibal Lecter kind of thing, where he's just
Yeah.
like he. It's hard to explain it because he even did it in The Office when he was in
Oh
the Office for
my
the season.
God.
He was
I
just so
love
like didn't give a shit.
I love his character in The Office. Oh my God. I remember when I saw him, I'm like, oh shit, okay. And then his whole character is just like he just gives this menacing aura to him. It's just and confidence. He uses the confidence that you know what, I, I he could tell you, you know what, the sky's purple, and you're gonna be like, no, no, it's James, it's blue, and he'll fucking look you dead in the face and make convince you it is purple because of
Yeah,
how confident and menacing he is.
you're like, oh, okay, it's purple.
Yeah, sure, okay, all right.
Hey, I'm not gonna disagree. Hey, you know.
Yeah, let's agree to disagree, but I agree. But I agree. I agree.
He's like, I knew you would agree. So, but yeah, we
That
got a
that
lot of great things, dude. We got a lot of great things with D23.
that piqued my interest. What obviously I saw the highlights of it. So that one and what was the other one that came out? Like, obviously we're gonna lead into right now of what we're gonna talk about. But
We got another trailer for other things as well. We got, some sequels for some movies and some originals. So obviously Incredibles 3 is coming out for in June 2028.
actually that's
Uh
true.
Coco 2 is coming out for no 2029 in November.
Is
And
there
then
gonna be
we
a
have
Rock en Español?
I don't know.
You seen the memes of it? That if you're gonna go here, you gotta do Rock en Español.
They might. I don't know. I
I
don't.
would.
I feel like the first one was such a good movie that it didn't need a sequel. But now it's kind of like they were showing the little pictures and whatnot of him to seeing his grandma Coco, and I got mad. I was like, "Fuck you, bitch!" I was like, "You can go see your grandma. I can't." So, like,
I can
fuck
see. I
you.
can, I can see how it's gonna make a lot of people be like, "Hey, fuck you, man." I can see that. I can see that.
I still have one grandma alive, but still, it's like, fuck you. I can't. But yeah, that one's coming out in 2029, and then we have another one. I don't know if you saw it. It's called Ghost Market.
No.
It looks pretty interesting. So the trailer is like this point of view from a kid, like he's filming it from his face, and he's talking about like going into like this haunted market, and it's like a Chinese market and this and that, and
Okay.
it's only for like a few seconds, but it looks good. It's like they're Pixar is going to this like scary horror kind of like movie, for kids and whatnot.
Okay.
So that looks interesting. And then obviously, we got Vision Quest coming out at the end of the year in October. Actually, so like in 2 more months. We got some other things. Let me check into because I'm checking all this right here. We got some video game stuff coming out. If you guys are into like fucking what's it, Kingdom Hearts, you guys know that they are doing Coco and Kingdom Hearts 4, I believe.
Mm,
And that's going to be pretty interesting. Have you ever played Kingdom Hearts? Or you've heard of
no.
Kingdom Hearts? So
I've heard of it.
it's like a mix of the Final Fantasy characters with Disney. The game came out, I want to say either 2000 or 2001. I got hooked onto it early on. But it's this character. His name is Sora, and he goes and travels through like all these little worlds, but they're all Disney worlds. So like you got like the Hercules world, you have um what's it called? Alice in Wonderland, you have Aladdin, you have the Lion King. So like they've been doing this since like early 2000s.
No
And
shit. Okay.
progressively they have gotten more and more. They've done, I think, Parts of the Caribbean. They've done some other ones, but this one, I think, with the new Kingdom Hearts, it's coming into the real world for some reason. It's kind of weird. My brother knows more about it than I do. He and my little brother got super into Kingdom Hearts. I kind of was like, I introduced you, okay, whatever. But they're introducing like these new worlds and whatnot, and it's cool. If people who like anime and people that like Disney, this is like the world. And Final Fantasy, it comes together. So that's one of the things they were talking about as well at D23. But the main one that we know, I mean, we've been kind of hinting at is fucking the X-Men cast.
Yes.
So, dude, I'm so first before we go into how do you feel about it? From what you've seen, how do you feel about these characters that they have uh these actors?
I like Rogue. I like the girl they picked for Rogue after I just watched it Obsession. So I like that.
Mhm.
Um, they're getting them young though, so I think obviously they're planning for the future. So a lot of these guys are what some of them are in their early 20s, some of them in their late 20s. So you can get a good 15, 20 years out of them now compared to when you got the original cast of the Avengers. Some of them were already in their late 30s
Yeah.
and they're aged out. Now, I like, yeah, you got a good I feel like they picked a good ragtag group to play the X-Men. So I don't really see nothing bad with it. I'm open to the idea what they're gonna do. I know a lot of people are giving flack for the lack of acting chops of Jean Grey.
Hmm.
But it's kind of come on, bro. Like
Yeah, they're just being nitpicky about it,
they're
which I
not gonna
mean,
give you but they're not gonna give you uh the whole entree on that one fucking movie. It was an introduction to her, and we're gonna see her in another and on another stage giving you a better performance than what she gave here. She was just
yeah, it was just a sample
yeah.
size of who she really is in
Mhm.
or who she's going to be in the X-Men because I mean, it's two totally different,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she's not going to be the
100.
Jean Grey of what we know because,
Mhm.
she's so yeah, I've heard that people are being picky like, ooh, but yeah, they're definitely getting these guys pretty young.
Yeah.
Kit Connor is our Cyclops, our leader. He's 22. So uh he's been in a couple things, but the main one that I recognized him from was from Rocket Man. He played a young Elton John. So I was
Oh,
like, oh shit, yeah.
he was the chubby kid.
Not when he was a little kid, but like when he was a little bit older. I'm sure if you go back, yeah, you'll he played a young Elton John, kind of like in the middle before he transitioned to Taron Egerton. So,
Okay.
but yeah, he's our Cyclops, which is pretty exciting. And he's 22, so definitely he'd be doing this for a good long while. We got Sadie Sink, obviously she's 24. We have Chris Abbott, which I've never heard of Chris Abbott or anything like that, but I found out that he is the husband of Aubrey Plaza, who's in the MCU as well. He's done a couple of
Okay.
things and whatnot. But he's kind of, I guess you would kind of say he's like an unknown to us, you know. He's 40, so he kind of fits that age of like a decent aged Professor X, you know. What else?
I think if you are going to get a Professor X, you don't want to have him younger, but also you don't want to have him too old. So
Yeah,
especially nowadays with teachers I think are what nowadays they're fucking young, so it makes sense
the
to give.
youngest I've seen a teacher is definitely like 21. So there's some kids that go from out of high school back into high school as a teacher. And I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? But I think it's a perfect age. I know a lot of people are upset because they're like, oh, he's supposed to be this older. But I'm like, these kids are in their 20s. They
but
might be playing a little bit younger,
you also got to imagine it's a reimagining of the X-Men here because obviously you're not this isn't your X-Men 97, this isn't your X-Men whatever. This is a reimagining. The fact that we got a quick run through of what Jean Grey. Jean Grey was just a daughter, a sister who happened to just evolve into her powers, and her mom abandoned her. And we know that her and her sister fended for themselves for a while. That's the
Yeah.
complete opposite of what we got from other stories for her. So obviously you're gonna get different stories, different origins of the obviously the way they are. you're gonna get, but you're gonna get different versions of them.
Yeah,
So
it's
obviously
not going to
you're
be
gonna
the
get.
same copy and paste that we've gone, from the last almost 30 years. You know, we're not going to get, oh, Professor X driving up to Jean Grey's parents' house and saying, oh, your daughter is quite gifted. If you guys want, I can take her off your fucking hands and you don't ever have to do with her again. And I'll train her to be a fucking superhero up here in upstate New York. Like, it's not what we're getting. This is a totally different thing. Like,
Yeah.
and it's okay. It's okay. As long as it somewhat follows the same story plots and whatever that we're getting, then I think we should be okay. If things kind of switch up a little bit, it should be okay.
I think they're switching it up just a little bit, just a little bit here. They're not gonna do a fucking full revamp. I think they're gonna, get. I think they're gonna give us a modern day X Men.
Yeah. And I mean, we only got a small sample size of the cast. We got Cyclops, we got Professor X, we got Emma Frost, Rogue, and Storm, which I think Storm is the one that a lot of people were kind of looking towards because I mean, we haven't had a really good Storm since Halle Berry, you know. We did get one with First Class. I thought she was okay, which I think they could have
Wait,
brought her back, but she's a little bit older now.
she's a bit older, but also she was one of the first people there. She was kind of the first ones that were talking like out of her ass, like
Oh yeah,
before,
yeah.
like when she was like, "Oh hey, in the comic books, you and T'Challa." She goes, "I don't." No, I feel like like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You don't have no say what your character's gonna go. You're gonna end up being T'Challa's love interest. You're gonna be the Black Panther's love interest. Simple as that. She kind of reminded me of that one bitch that played Snow White. That was like, oh no, I'm not for this
Oh
villain.
yeah.
Like, hey, shut your Gen Z ass up and do what you're told.
Shut your fucking mouth, bitch.
Basically, I remember when I heard that interview and I'm like, what the fuck? Shut up.
But I guess that's an easy way for them to get out of their contract and whatnot. I mean, she was with Fox, so it's kind of at the same time it didn't really affect it. But I think she played a pretty good
Maybe they
Storm.
should bring her back and then she dies in Doomsday.
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything else from the other, and we're just getting the main X-Men in Doomsday. We're not getting the
The Emma
others.
Frost one, is she gonna? You think they'll introduce her as the villain or as part of the X Men group?
She might be.
Because the last time she was introduced was X Men First Class, and
She was already a bad person
she
on
was
the bad side. Yeah, she
she was
was
she was a henchwoman.
the Hellfire Club. I don't know. She might be a good one, I think, in a way. Yeah, Sarah Weaving. She's in some stuff too as well. She's 34, so she's a little bit older. So
Makes sense.
she
That makes sense.
she's the niece of Hugo Weaving, which as people would know, famously for Lord of the Rings and for us MCU people, Red Skull. So that's kind of cool. She's been in a couple movies here and there. She's recognized as a scream queen, so she's been in a lot of horror movies and whatnot. But she definitely has the looks for
Oh
Emma
yeah, she
Frost
does
because
look
Emma
good.
Frost is pretty hot. Um, but yeah, no, Storm, she's 22, so that's a really perfect age. I don't know what else she's been in. So she's been in a lot of Broadway things. She's been in Broadway mostly, stage. So she's pretty young. She's doing some things. So
You want to get the unknowns first right now.
yeah, you really want to get the unknowns. But the main, I guess, two that are pretty popular now is obviously the girl who's playing Rogue. She was in that movie Obsession, which
But
I have not seen yet. She's 25, so she's pretty young in her age too, and a lot
that's
of
what I'm
people were
saying.
upset
It's
with
like
her too as well.
really.
Yeah, people were because they wanted either Homegirl from Marty Supreme with I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she has like a big nose, or who else did they say? They said somebody else to be why am I blanking on her name? Let me look it up. She was in a movie called let me see, A24 2025. Damn, what was the name of that movie? Fuck. Why am I blanking out on her fucking
Yeah, I'm
name,
drinking
bro?
on it.
She's super, 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 super gorgeous. She played this movie last year with
Put fan cast Rogue and see if it'll pop up right now.
yeah. Let me let me do fan cast Rogue.
It
And
makes sense with the chick from Obsession. I thought she did a great job in that movie. She's a relatively unknown. She's done a couple indie movies. She did this one right now, which is like I mean, it's not the biggest movie this year, but it's one of the most talked about movies this year. It made sense to get her.
Mhm.
You said she's 25, and like I said in the opening, you want to get them young, especially if you're looking that if the next saga of the MCU is gonna be the X-Men, you're gonna want to tell this fucking story, and you're gonna want them young, especially if you're gonna drop these movies every other year.
Yeah. Yeah, you want them at a pretty decent age, so that way, because I mean, they're not going to drop these movies every 2 years we're used to, back in the 2000s. They're going to take quite a lot of time, and I'm sure they're signing longer contracts now. They're not signing 10 movie contracts. They're probably signing like 15 movie contracts now because
Yeah.
they're going to want them to appear in certain things, in certain Avengers movies, maybe in certain solo movies as well,
Mhm.
you know. So, but the person, yeah, her name is Sophie Thatcher. She was in a movie. I saw it was an A24 movie. It was pretty good. She definitely has the looks of it. And then there's Margaret Qualley, I think her name is. She was in that movie that was with what's her name? Demi Moore. They were like the workout girl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that one.
They
Okay, I
wanted
could.
her to be Rogue as well. She was in talks for quite a while to be Rogue, but she didn't. Obviously, they didn't get it. But no,
You
I
also
think.
got you
Go
also got
ahead.
to imagine too that a lot of people maybe want to be in it, but then don't want to be tied to it for too long.
Yeah, there's a stigmatism of being tied to Marvel because then you're just going to be known for doing Marvel movies. You can't
Yeah.
go. I mean, you could do go do other movies, obviously,
Mm.
but people are going to be like, "Hey, aren't you so and so?" And they're like, "No, dude, I was in that A24 movie. That
You don't want to be typecast. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be typecast, which I totally agree. I totally
You
agree.
you also don't know what the contracts ask. Like you know, hey, if you're gonna be part of this fucking MCU, you can go do these type of movies, or we have to sign off on any of your future projects outside of production here. So if you want to go do if you want to go do a horror movie, we have to sign off on it. You know, you can't do nudity, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's more restrictions to these guys and or these guys and ladies, like a certain retard says it. Um, maybe that's why. And so maybe certain actors is like, okay, yeah, I want to do this, and then when they give you all their no list, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Let me think about it.
Yeah, I think that's why. Um, what's her name? Uh, why am I blanking out on her name? The girl from Euphoria, the one that was in why am I blanking out, dude? See, this is the thing. I should be taking my A1, Sydney Sweeney. I think that's why Sydney Sweeney isn't attached to any MCU because she's known for showing her body. She's known for doing nudity, in Euphoria.
Yeah,
So I'm sure she was just like, don't want to be tied to that. And you can't really do these kind of exploring movies. So
yeah, because
I
if you're trying to be artistic, you can't do it.
exactly. But the main one, the big one, the white whale is we got Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister. So
Ooh, that one's been in talks for a while. I remember hearing about it.
yeah,
I'm like, okay.
they've been trying to get him into the MCU for years, dude.
I kept hearing he kept kind of saying no to it. No.
Yeah, because he's going
No.
to be tied to it. But I think he
It's
was
kind of
just waiting for the right role.
it's kind of like the running gag with Bryan Cranston with Invincible. Every year they hit him up like, "Hey, do you want to do like a voiceover?" And he's like, "No." And I guess like it's been a running gag where every season they call him and go, "Hey, we have this character," and he's like, "No." And so it's been like I said, it's been this running gag now with the Invincible crew hitting up Bryan Cranston. So I could see where they kept hitting up Adam Driver, like, "Hey, we kind of have this thing." Nah, I'm okay. Nah, I'm okay. Nah, I'm okay. And now it's like, "Hey, you know what? What you got for me?" He goes, "Oh, this guy named Mr. Sinister." Let
Well,
me
I know
look
he
him up.
was in talks to do Mr. Fantastic. He was in like the
Yeah,
lead running to be Reed Richards, but
I
obviously
can't
he
see him
got
as that.
I think I could have. I think I could have seen him. It was either going to be him or that guy from that show. I forgot what it's called on Netflix. but he was
Mhm.
in the running to be Reed Richards, but obviously they went for Pedro Pascal, and um, I don't have anything else to say about that. But no, I think this is a really good casting. He's definitely going to be like their big bad, kind of like behind the scenes, like how Thanos was in a way. So I don't
Yeah,
think they're just going to have him as a one and done. He's definitely going to either be this for a good movie or two.
you think so?
I think so. I think so. You know, but I mean, I could be wrong. He could definitely just be a one and done like that, and just be like, okay, well, I played this guy. Good, bye, see you later. Thanks for the money. You know,
True.
but
You know what? I can see that. I can see that. But especially if you're looking at a long time run, you're gonna want him because obviously if we're gonna go into like up the like you could actually do a movie cup with if you're gonna lead into the bigger bad, which is Apocalypse, you're gonna need him because he technically creates Cable.
yeah,
Get injected.
definitely.
Yeah. So I can see some of the stuff. So I could see him maybe doing it. All right. I think that's a great cast, Mr. Sinister. I think he has that menacing aura to him, you know, and maybe this might resurrect his this might be a is it a not a resurrection, a fucking
Resurgence.
resurgence from and also redeeming for doing Kylo Ren.
You don't think it was that? I don't think Kylo Ren was that bad. I don't think he was that bad, dude. I know he was a whiny bitch, but I thought Kylo Ren was kind of cool.
I think the premise of Kylo Ren was great. I think his presence was great. I think whenever he opened his fucking mouth and spewed out the dialogue they had him read, made him look like a bitch.
I blame Disney for that.
He got a
So
four out. He got what 4 out of 5, and that fifth one was actually good because you needed to be menacing, not throw tantrums and shit.
yeah, well as I see it, it kind of fits. It kind of fits in a way because in a way that's how Anakin was. Anakin was kind of like this, like, oh well, you know what? Fuck you guys. So I feel it like it would be kind of
Yeah,
kind of uh and for his grandson to be a little fucking whiny bitch
man. But
because
when
he
your
didn't get
dad,
his way,
when
you
your
know.
dad is Han fucking Solo,
Well, Han Solo's not the greatest dad either. He's like, hey kid, I gotta go. Like I
but
gotta go save the universe. Me and
like,
Chewie gotta go
I
do
think
this
you should
shit.
have made him more ruthless. He should have been more of a ruthless as motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I
In my
think
opinion.
instead of being tied to Vader, I think he could have been like a disciple. I mean, he has his the Knights of Ren, you know, in a way, but like it just
I feel
I
like
see how it looked bad,
it looked
you know.
bad. To me, it looked bad, and hopefully, this is a very uh a redeeming. But I keep saying redeeming. I hope he redeems himself. Maybe that's why he took over Mr. Sinister instead of a good guy role. It's like, nah, you know what? I gotta give the fans a proper fucking villain here. And what better way than to give them Mr. Sinister? We're still waiting on the Wolverine, which I think that's what everyone was expecting when they saw the panel. They're like, oh,
They
and
thought
then
we
we're
were
just
gonna get
waiting.
like the full X-Men cast, and
You-
I figured we weren't gonna get all that
Who knows? They might, maybe they already have them, but they're not gonna give it to us until maybe fucking
next
uh
year's.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they're gonna have to start filming soon.
Because I
So
think they have to have their Magneto. They're gonna have to have their fucking Wolverine. Who else? They're gonna have to have
well,
the
like I
Gambit.
told you last time, I don't think they're gonna introduce Wolverine until like maybe it's the second X-Men movie. Because I what they're trying to do is think they're trying to work on just the OG core, which was Iceman, Beast, Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Archangel. Well, Angel in a way. I think they're trying to just focus on like the OG lineup like it was in the comics and then
Yeah,
kind of expressed more on that, you know. But I mean, I thought Adam Driver was gonna play Magneto because that's what they were announcing that
that
he was
was a
gonna be
that
Magneto.
would have been a good fit for him too.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know who I would get to play Magneto right now.
A lot of people said Lee Pace, which he played what's a homeboy in fucking the first movie of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I forgot his fucking name. But yeah, Lee Pace, but he's 47. So I mean,
Mhm.
he could be Magneto because homeboy's 40. So there would be like a few years older, you know,
Yeah,
dynamic and whatnot. But I mean, he's a good fucking actor. I've seen him in a lot of good movies, and I think with his if he could do the role of Magneto very, very well. He's been in the Lord of the Rings. He's been in all these fucking movies. So Ronan the Accuser, that's what he was. He was Ronan the Accuser. But I think he would be
Yeah,
really good.
I could see him.
The fan cast has him as Magneto with the gray hair and everything. I think that would be perfect. So,
I can see him, but
but
whoever they get, I think whoever they get, you're gonna have to get someone rugged,
yeah, you definitely
someone,
have to find somebody that matches that it's kind of like a
yeah.
younger brother, older brother kind of thing in a way.
Hmm. And
They
someone
wanted the
that
Scar to do that. They thought the Scars would have been pretty good.
that's another one good too. But
Yeah,
like I said, maybe we might find out in these next two Avengers movies. We might find out. 'Cause
we'll see.
I think they already have them. I think they already have these guys. And obviously, like you said, they might be starting them off kind of in the OG set, like OG guys of X-Men, and then slowly start integrating everybody, or
Yeah,
they're gonna go right off, like, fucking off to the races with give us the ones we want. Who
yeah.
knows?
I don't know. For me personally, I kind of want them to build up to a Wolverine. I don't want it because Wolverine has been the main guy in every X-Men movie. Ever since they came out in what 98, 99, I believe. He's always been the forefront of these movies. Cyclops has always been number two or number three to these.
He
He's
is.
never been the full leader as he should. Even in fucking um well, not even X-Men First Class, because then we had fucking Mystique be this fucking leader. Like Cyclops has never been that leader. So hopefully this changes everything, and that's why I feel like they should introduce Wolverine later, or have him in his own little solo thing, and then introduce him to the X cast. You know, because they should. Cyclops needs his flowers, bro. He needs to be the leader who he's going to be. He is to me my X Men. He is that motherfucker. He's that guy, but he's always been the bitch in the
He,
last two movies of the X Men
he's,
series.
he's been the cuck of the whole series. Yeah, you know what? I can see that. I can see that, but and I'm agree with you. You're right. You bring him in slowly because if you're gonna basically because you're recasting
Yeah,
such an iconic role that one guy who has done it for almost what 20 something years.
almost 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you slowly bring him there. Maybe you introduce him real quick in the Avengers, but then he kind of just rides off, and that's it. And you'll see him maybe here and there, and officially doesn't join the team until maybe the fourth movie.
Hmm. Yeah.
But he's out there.
Or they could do as what they're doing in the video games. He's already part of his own force. Like he's a part of like X Force or X Task or whatever up there in Canada. And then you slowly bring him in to, he'd be part of the X-Men.
Yeah,
They've done that with other characters where they've already been a part of other teams and then they work together and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with these guys instead. I'll see y'all later, and then bring him in. But he's got to be the number he's got to be the number three. He can't be the number one anymore. He can't be number two. Like it has to be Cyclops and it has to be Jean Grey. Like they have to be those leaders. Wolverine's
I
not the leader.
yeah, but I trust they'll do it because if you look at it, they did the whole, you know, they let's be honest, like I think with the Avengers, they were able to do a good job with not making a single captain. It was like you had three fucking major figureheads of this fucking group: Thor, Tony, Steve.
Yeah.
Neither one overclipped each other. It was very much you knew as fans, you knew that these are the guys that are like, okay, these are the leaders of the group. Each one brings something to the table, and then the rest are kind of the ensemble cast. I think, I think you're right. I think Cyclops does need his flowers, and I think the MCU has done a real good job of not just focusing on one single character, because I think the mistake that the Fox did was I think they were gonna. I think if you watch the original X-Men movie, yeah, Wolverine is in a lot of the stories, but they try to like, okay, cool, but we have this person, we have this person, we have this person, and then the fans fell in love more with Hugh Jackman, And then instead of them saying, okay, well, we're gonna move forward, it's still kind of keep throwing it in there like, hey, this is not a Wolverine movie and the X-Men, it's the X-Men.
Yeah.
And instead they went, no, 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 this is a Wolverine movie.
I mean, X2 is pretty much a Wolverine movie because they
Yeah,
deal with him with the Weapon X and him
that's what I'm
going
saying.
back, and
You get
so
what I'm
yeah,
saying, already? Because Fox kind of like panicked and said, "Oh no, 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 fuck it! They like Hugh Jackman. Fuck it, keep giving him more Hugh. Give him a Hugh."
more.
Yeah, and then poor fucking Cyclops is just like, "Hey, hey," he's like the middle child. No one pays attention. Like, hey, get it, stand over
He's
there.
the cuck. He's the cook in the corner while Wolverine's over here being the main star. You
That's what I'm
know.
saying. That's what I'm saying. So I think the MCU has done a real good job not singling out one character and say this is the one that drives everything for the fucking franchise. It's like no, no, no. Everybody drives the franchise. Each one has a part to play in this fucking thing. Each one, there's not one big character here that drives it. It's everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Even
they
though,
have done pretty good on that.
even though the whole series is based on, because I was thinking about it, if you look at the whole Avengers series, it's based on Tony. The whole Avengers saga is on solely based on Tony because he was the one that that put us in the whole situation, all this stuff. So it makes sense. Tony starts the MCU, Tony ends the MCU with him dying. So it
Mm-hmm.
makes a bet that they do such a good job giving you to hey, Cap, the story about the Captain America, story about Thor, all these other minor characters, and then they give us a big ensemble, but nobody's bigger. Even though, like, if you really look into it, Tony's the focal point of the entire MCU saga. Even now that he's dead, he's still the focal point. He still leaves, you know,
Yeah,
he still has the legacy, but it's not overshadowed for the other ones. You still get
yeah, because
the
everyone's got their own equal time with their own equal movies. Thor
yeah
has hit 4 movies. Cap has had
3.
movies. Well, 3, but also I guess the one that just came out. What's it called? New World Order or whatever it was called. I forgot
Yeah,
that
yeah, I'm right.
with the Anthony Mackie. So he's had pretty much 4. Because Civil War is even a fucking it's a Cap movie, but it's
Yeah.
disguised as an Avengers movie.
Mhm.
So they all had their own equal movies, and I think that's what you're pointing out a good thing where they've all had equal time too as well. Because like it's all about Tony, but there's also other little things that make up the whole story, and each one has a part to play. Even the Hulk. Doesn't have his own movie, but he's had a part to play, and they gave him his equal time. So, with you saying that, I guess I could see it. Them doing that, and all this stuff with all these other characters, because then you have to deal with Professor Xavier's story with him and Magneto, and then you got to deal with Cyclops trying to be a leader. Then you have, if you add Wolverine's thing of I don't know who the fuck I am, and all these other things, and dealing with all that. So like, I do trust Marvel. They have it.
And here's the thing: if you're gonna introduce Wolverine, and Mr. Sinister is a guy that likes to work with mutation and all this stuff, you can also say, here's a retelling. You can say that Mr. Sinister is the one that was experimenting on Wolverine, and then in that whatever movie, the second one, third one, when they find the lab where he's working on all these mutants, he's just experimenting on different things. They
Yeah.
find a incubator with fucking Wolverine in there and shit, and then you introduce him. But then, just like they did in was it what's the second X-Men movie when they go into the lab and they find Wolverine and he goes on berserker mode and everybody,
Oh yeah.
and then Jean kind of calms him down and he just fucking runs off fucking naked and shit.
Yeah. I mean that was a pretty good introduction of like, oh
You
shit.
you you could introduce him like that.
Yeah,
You
he could have
could,
like a little minimal small green time and then just be like,
and you're
oh,
like, oh
that's yeah.
fuck, but yeah,
Because that
you
was pretty
could,
cool when I saw it in the theaters. You didn't expect that, and then you saw them, and then you're like, "Holy shit! It's Berserker Wolverine, like with the Weapon X." And it was just like, and then he just runs off, and it's just like that's Wolverine. Like what
that's how
the
you can
fuck,
that's how you can introduce him. So I think I'm gonna hold my reservations on everything. Obviously, these guys are planning out. When I say these guys, I mean DC, MCU, Kevin Feige. Trust the process. I say trust the process. I think they if they're putting this cast together, it's because there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Just like they introduced the new Black Panther, just like they introduced the Ghost Rider. It's all these are. If you notice, they're giving us little pieces here and there. We haven't seen the big picture yet, guys. Let's wait until we get the big fucking scheme, the big picture, the next phase into this saga. Because obviously, like we discussed on past episodes, Mark Ruffalo's announced, "I'm out. This is my last time as a Hulk." Chris Hemsworth has also announced, "This is my last time as Thor." The Chris Evans has announced this was the last one, but now this is the last one.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr., yeah, this is the last time as Tony Stark. He's right, but he's back as Doctor Doom, and most likely this will be the last time you see uh fucking Tony. I mean, what's his real name? Fucking Robert Downey Jr.
Mhm.
So this next phase, you got Ryan Gosling. You have that one guy from Aliens playing the new Black Panther. You have all these people. You got the Fantastic Four still. Like so the big picture we haven't seen it yet, but these are just small little pieces that we're just gonna start piecing together.
Yeah, because this new
Tom
saga
Holland signed
is the
for another
mutant
what, three
saga.
more movies?
Who?
Tom Holland still got a couple more movies left.
Tom Holland? Well, supposedly, yeah, he's got like I want to say he's tied to three. I think, well, three and a half. Because I think he's going to show up at the ends of Doomsday. And then he's got Secret Wars. And then he has his two other movies. So about three and a half movies, I believe.
There you
Um,
go.
but
So
like I said, and I told my friend this, I was like, he might not even get a sixth movie, not because of it not being financially like successful, just because they might be going in a different direction. And also too, because Sony and Disney, Marvel don't really play well. They've had their own little problems here and there. So there could be a possibility where in the future, he might not even be part of the MCU. He might not
yeah,
even get a sixth movie. So that's what I've been trying to say, but you know, yeah, he's got like three and a half movies so far, and then he says he knows when they'll introduce Miles Morales and all this and other that. So like, yeah, he's gonna be slowly fading out too, because he'll be 40 by the time the sixth one comes out. And you can't play Spider-Man forever, obviously.
oh no, you can't. No, so
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like I think trust the process, like how the little memes always say, trust the process, and we'll see what happens. I think they're gonna slowly integrate it, and who knows, they might integrate the second portion of the team in Doomsday or Secret Wars. You don't know. That's the thing. These motherfuckers are doing such a great job, sprinkling here and there, giving out false information, and then giving you the deal, the full load. Like, no, no, hey, you read wrong. That was AI. This was what's going on.
yeah, exactly. So we got 2 more years till this movie comes out, and I'm sure we'll get more and more details probably towards the end of the year. And then maybe we'll get like a full thing either at D23 next year or at Comic-Con next year, which I'm sure Comic-Con next year will be all X-Men. And you're definitely going to get so many X-Men updates. Like it's going to be crazy. We might even get a teaser trailer. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I think I trust the process. I'm telling you, I think they're gonna slowly introduce. Everything's planned out. These guys are 5, 6 steps ahead of us right now, and that's what they want. They want you from here until next year to talk about it. And believe me, from here until December, you're gonna get a little bit of information put out. These guys have done such a good job right now. I'm gonna say that such a good job to keep the geek world still talking about a movie that's gonna come out in December.
Yeah,
And then dropping there, like they're dropping little nuggets here and there, they're dropping little pieces here and there for you, and then they want you to just take these pieces and then just assume what the grand picture's gonna look like, and that's what's going on right now.
yeah.
It's a strategic way to keep everyone from talking about what's gonna happen in December. Which should we lead into our finale of what was
Fuck it.
put out?
Fuck it. Yeah.
Fucking the second Doomsday trailer.
Which I predicted, which I talked about.
with
actually was the actual second trailer.
with
Um,
fucking bad. I've seen it 5 times already.
same,
I've
same.
seen it. Um, you know what? This might be their biggest bad guy. I think Thanos was a very good adversary, but you got a guy that's fucking like the smartest man alive, basically, and driven. And from the looks of it, I know I said in the beginning that he might be targeting, you know, the incursions of like all these kids. I don't think that's what his plan is.
No, he literally says you've all lived in stolen lives. So he's
Yeah.
pretty much targeting everybody, everybody, even in the different universes. Like he's like, you all have stolen shit. I'm the one that I'm the tax collector. Now you got to pay up. I'm
Well,
coming for you, motherfuckers.
from what the quote unquote the leaks are saying is that he notices an anomaly and an incursion is happening, brings it up to the Fantastic Four, and from the looks of it, he's not the bad guy in their universe. He's just Victor Von Doom,
Yeah.
and I guess he tells him, "Hey, there's some shit happening right now. This is an anomaly. I want to run the numbers with you." And then they start running the numbers, and that's when him and Reed start noticing. Obviously, they know about that's when they start noticing multiverses and incursions, and they find Steve is somehow in their fucking universe, and they start looking into it. And I think, and then I want to believe is that as the movie's going, Doctor Victor or Doctor Doom starts realizing like you guys are meddling with shit that you guys have know nothing about. So you're telling me in your universe, you guys changed time. You guys went back in time to change your future. And not only did you fuck up your guys' universe, you go ahead and then fuck up even more by going to have your last dance with your loved one. And then you're telling me there's an agency that watches over time. And then instead of correcting what you just what you fucked up, they sent you to our universe. And I feel like as the movie's going, he's noticing everything. Like, no, this isn't a scientific anomaly. This is a pattern. Like, you guys are just fucking things up here, and none of you guys care about the fucking dangers of what you guys are doing. And so I feel like to his fucking nature, he'll be like, "Oh, I have to correct this. You guys don't even see what you guys are doing. You guys are trying to save what you guys have, and it's stolen lives. You guys are fucking trying to save. Only I am I the only one that's sane that knows what you guys are doing are wrong? Then I guess I have to correct it myself. Then I
Yeah.
must be the bad guy here because I have to correct this because you guys are fucking everyone over. And I think the biggest turn is going to be if the leak is true that the opening is the X-Men, Fox X-Men have been fighting incursions for the last 20 years and then killing and they've become fucking savages because they're just fucking killing anything to save whatever
Smart, smart.
slither of life they have. And then obviously that Raimi's universe, the Spider universe is colliding with the X-Men, and you got Spider-Man and the X-Men going at it, and then that's how the cutscene goes in. And I think that when they travel to the X-Men universe and they see the ruins, and you see a war-torn X-Men, uh, a Magneto, and a Professor X, who have probably done some fucked up shit for what? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you're gonna get these guys that are like old and worn out from all these incursions. And I think that's when Victor's like, the fuck are you guys do? Like, you're all fucking killing each other. You guys are stealing fucking lives. You guys are altering the fucking fabric of time for this. I don't know. I need to correct this.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I will say I think some of the points you have, um, I can see, but also too, I think he probably told them a long time ago because if you watch the Fantastic Four, there's a scene where they're doing like a UN kind of like meeting and Sue Storm is talking and they pan to different people and you see Latveria is not there. Well, I think obviously he should have been there because he's probably the spokesman of of his country. But I think the reason why he wasn't there is probably because there was a fallout between him and Reed. If you watch the movie, Pedro's Pascal, his autistic ass Reed Richards, is so busy focusing on the kid, focusing on making sure shit. He in his way is a Tony himself. Like, I gotta make sure I have a plan B, C, D, E, all the way through Z to make sure nothing happens. Like, I got everything covered. And I'm sure with this Doom, he's probably told me, he's like, hey, bro, like, there's some weird shit going on, and I want to talk to you about that. And I'm sure he's put him off. He's like, no, sorry, Victor, I can't. And he's probably, just like, hey, bro, I'm trying to tell you. And he's like, Victor, shut the fuck up. Just leave me alone. Like, I got shit. And I'm sure he didn't take that very well. And then started noticing it. So he started looking into it and was just like, oh, there's so much shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it connects to him and his wife and his kids. I don't know how,
I
because
think that he's always lost them. I don't think this is a case of like, oh, I want to bring them back. I think, and we talked about this on a couple episodes ago. I think he's realized that that is a point in time that you cannot change. You can't change it.
canon event, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can't change it. You can't move it. It's gonna happen no matter what. And I think, to me, his driving force will be, I've accepted my fucking family dead, and it hurts me. You guys went about to unfuck something that you shouldn't unfucked, and in you doing that, you're fucking other people's lives up, and you don't give a fuck. So then I have to correct this now.
In a way, yeah.
And
In a
and
way,
this
yeah.
is and this might become, he becomes how Tony goes, I need to fix this, and I can only do it, only I can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that,
Obviously,
that's
that's why
that's how
there's
I
the
think.
connection with him and Robert Downey Jr., where Tony has been that person. He was like, I got to make sure I prevent everything from anything happening, so that way we're good. But Doom is probably like, I'm just gonna take this into my own hands, and I'm gonna do it by any means necessary. If you die, you die. You're fucked.
Because I'm thinking that throughout the whole movie, he's kind of that, just, he's the guy looking outside, looking in, and then just seeing everybody kind of like, you guys are aware of what you guys are doing, and you guys still want to fight for this. Like, you guys are like, and I think his tipping point will be falling into the X-Men universe and seeing what's going on and going, the fuck? Like, you guys are fighting for what? Like, they accept death, motherfuckers. Accept what's this is. You guys are trying to fuck with something you go know nothing about. And I feel like he'll probably take. I think we, for the second time in this whole Avengers series, we're gonna see Loki get killed.
No, it's been like the fifth time. The fifth time he's been killed,
And then you're gonna see him absorb his powers, and he becomes the fucking great and all powerful man of the universe.
which has connections to all the universes,
Yeah, and then that's when
every
he.
multiverse.
And I think that's when he starts fucking pruning everything himself.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, I've heard the rumors of the intro of how the movie's gonna end, which I will say this. If I mean, obviously we know Toby's coming back, but if I have to sit there for 15 minutes watching Toby Maguire face all the fucking X-Men by himself and then lose and die, I'm fucking walking. I'm walking out. But no, it's a joke. But no, I've heard that, and dude, I told you they're feeding us very well to see the X-Men and Spider-Man fight each other to save each other's universe, because Toby's the only superhero in his universe, so he's the one that has to fight for his world.
I would love to see if you also see like fucking other people like fucking Doc Ock or something like that. But side little panel, did you see the conspiracy that says that when you watch the ending of Spider-Man 2, and Doc Ock has Spider-Man in the grips of almost death, and he snaps out of it, people are saying that that's when the Doc Ock uh from No Way Home gets transported back into his own body. That's what he says. He says, because the last thing I remember is having Spider-Man right in my
Yeah,
grips, and then I know I fucking transported here, it's gonna be crazy that at the end of No Way Home, that's why he releases
Toby
that
from
Doc
the
Ock. He releases them and then sacrifices himself.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because like each one has came to their senses. That's what I'm saying. When Norman was about to get impaled by the glider, he's like, "Oh, he kind of knocked out of it. He's like, "Oh shit, like I'm about to die." So I think that's what everyone's conscience went back to their original
Mhm.
body, and obviously they died. you know,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So going back to what we're talking about, I'm telling you, I feel it's Victor seeing and also realizing the X-Men have been fucking with time for the longest.
all three of
Days of
them.
Future Past, Deadpool with this shit. Like y'all been fucking with the fabric of time. Like you guys have been ripping into it for a while. Like what the fuck? And obviously the biggest focal point will be Steve Rogers more and the Avengers fucking it up even more. And then Steve doing what he does. And obviously, if the leaks are right, the TVA instead of pruning his ass like they've been doing,
They just put him in another universe, which is supposed to be the Fantastic Four's 60s retro style universe, and he lives there, I think, for like 10 years until they figure it out. And they're like, "The fuck, you've been here for 10 years, dude?"
but also the fan theory could be is that the universe would be like, okay, cool, we'll allow this, but a life has to be taken.
And it probably was somebody in the universe had to be taken. So,
A life
I
for
mean,
life. It's almost like the Soul Stone. A
in
life
a way,
for life.
yes. Well, you know
You know,
what? Sorry, go ahead.
no, go, no, 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 you're going.
I think a lot of questions will be kind of answered with Endgame Encore. That's coming out next month,
Yeah,
which I'm definitely gonna have to go see myself. Because they've added, I think, 7 more minutes or 8 more minutes of extra scenes in the movie. Like, from what I've heard, they're going to be showing Cap going back and putting the Soul Stones back where they've gone. There's supposed to be integral scenes that kind of lead into why the Doomsday is, how the movie is going to set up and this and that. So I'm very excited for that, and there's going to be a lot of questions going to be answered, I think, in a way, or kind of things that are going to set up for Doomsday with the re-release of Endgame Encore, which I'm super excited. It comes out next month. I think it's towards the end of September, if I believe correctly.
I think so. I think it,
But yeah, there's got to be something, dude. I don't with all these. It's weird because we're getting so many leaks, but we're getting these leaked plots of the movie, but it's not really telling us what Doom's plan is. Like this, just like, oh well, the X-Men are doing this. Oh, the Avengers are doing this. Oh, this person meets up. Oh, this person meets, but that's not really telling us like this is Doom's plan. So it's like they're giving everything. They're giving all the sides to this, but not giving us the main course, which I think has kind of ruined a lot of people because they're like, we're just giving away the movie. But I'm like, Disney knows what they're doing. I think they're the
oh
ones doing
fuck
the
yeah.
leaks. So they're like, okay, we'll give you all this to distract you guys. You
If there
know,
was if there was any indication if that people were getting tired of superhero movies, and I know they were saying, oh, the dawn of superhero movies is done. Yeah, go check out fucking Spider-Man right now. It's about to make $1 billion right now.
2 billion. It's made 2 billion.
And that's what I'm saying. And that movie was also getting leaked out. Information was getting leaked out. And that movie's fucking generated, you just said 2 million, 2 billion. I'm sorry, $2 billion.
Yeah.
So I think that's a formula you put out here and there. You put out nuggets. Some of it's true, some of it's not. And again, it's pieces you're just putting together.
Yeah, until because yeah, with Spider-Man, there was a lot of leaks. There was leaks that he could become a spider. I mean, we all knew the Jean Grey one. That was very like,
Yeah,
really,
that
we're
was
not that
that was
dumb.
like the worst kept secret. Yeah.
There was other things. There was this. There was that. So like, we got leaks for Spider-Man, but when we got the final product, it was like, oh, that wasn't how we thought it was gonna be, but kinda, sorta. But with
Hmm.
this one, with Doomsday, this is totally different. We're getting
Oh yeah.
fan service correct. Like we're getting well, we've seen the X Men, we've seen some of the Avengers, but we haven't seen Wolverine. We haven't
Yeah.
seen Spider Man. We haven't seen Deadpool. Supposedly he's in this. We
And
haven't seen anybody else.
well, remember they were still. I think as of like 2 months ago, they were still reshooting some of the shit.
I think so, from what I've heard.
So yeah, so there's still, and you also gonna know, and during in the editing bay, they're also digitally removing people. If you remember, Spider-Man No Way Home, they edited out Toby and Andrew out of certain scenes,
Hmm.
and then when you watch the movie, you're like, oh, I remember that scene. Oh no, what the fuck? They edited them out. In the trailer, they're edited out. Like, so there's certain things you're seeing on the trailer, they're editing out. I saw shout out to fucking new rock stars.
Yes.
They pointed out a scene where you can tell it's digitally removed because the back of the screen, and I think it looks like they're in the Baxter building, and it does a pan shot, and you see the new Avengers with the Z. You see Cap, you see fucking the Fantastic Four, and then right next to Reed Richards and I think Sue Storm, there's like a background which it shows like a digital board where he's writing equations. There's some of the equations that are like distorted. It's almost like someone
Hmm.
erased someone from there. So in the original trailer, there might be more than just them. It might be more people.
Yeah, that's true. These also could be scenes that are just placeholders for real things because they've
Yeah,
done that where they've filmed scenes that are not even in the movie just to
yeah.
kind of
So
distract people in ways. So like
mhm.
this is all a tactic. And I was talking to my brother about this yesterday, and my brother's kind of the one. He was like, I'm not really feeling Doom. I'm not really feeling Doomsday. But I'm like, no, dude, like this movie, if we think Spider-Man is generating $2 billion in just what
Oh,
a couple weeks, Doomsday will generate twice as more. I'm telling you, by by February of 2027, Doomsday will probably reach $5 billion.
it's gonna be a heavy. It's gonna be a fucking.
And then you're competing against Doom 3. Like this movie is pulling out all the stops, and it's got to compete with Dune 3, which is probably one of the bigger movies that everyone's looking towards too as well.
Mhm.
But I think Doomsday is going to come out ahead, and it's going to beat Spider-Man by miles.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it's going to be that movie. This one and fucking Secret Wars. Like
Oh,
it's gonna be it.
if there's any indication of this how but good this movie's gonna be, is the ending part where fucking Thor tells him that you're gonna beg for me to send you to you're gonna beg for help, it's gonna be long before I send you there. And he stops him with his fucking two fingers and tells him the hell answers to him when
Yeah,
he
he was
swings.
that was basically a mic drop. He's like, hell answers to me. I am do and then he raises the sentinels like a badass and says, I am Doom. If that doesn't make you excited for this movie, I don't know what will. I
I'm
don't
telling
know
you,
what will. It thank God we're getting this instead of Kang Dynasty.
I
Because
think
this is way
I
better.
I think they knew they dropped the ball when they did Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I think they knew they dropped the ball, and obviously, the legal issues of Jonathan Majors wasn't the biggest help. So I think they kind of scrapped it, and I think they were able to take something that was like, "Fuck, we fucked up this franchise already. This franchise is fucked." Because you gotta imagine that during that time, Jonathan Majors is going to be Kang the Conqueror, and obviously the fucking guy who played T'Challa dies. Like, there's a lot of bad shit that happened for Marvel or MCU, and for them to come back and pick up the ball, reshape it, and then change it and say, "Oh no, no, we're gonna go this direction now," and then drop these two fucking trailers. And his last trailer is fucking epic. They kind of, and then you have Sue Storm explaining him to us, and you're just seeing everybody kind of look defeated, everyone look worried, and then the fucking epic thing where fucking you hear Reed Richards telling, "What did you do? Did you do this?" Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, the whole, like I said, if this does not make twice or three times the amount of money that Spider-Man did, I don't know. I feel like they were able to basically make a good 360 turn on which would have been the doomed fucking, no pun intended, a doomed fucking Avengers movie, Kang the Conqueror shit.
Yeah, I do agree. Also, too, I think this was always in their plan. I think they always had a backup plan of like, hey, look, if this shit doesn't work out, we can always introduce Doom and have Doomsday and whatever, whatnot. But I'm really excited for this. And I think who's ever writing for this the way that they presented Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards, I think is going to be way better than he was in his own movie, because you could see when he was asking Victor, like, Victor, did you do this with so much passion? And Victor's just like, and he's like, did you do, he had so much passion. And whoever's, I mean, dude, he's going to kill it. I think he's going to kill it in this movie. And he might change my mind. Pedro Pascal might change my mind on being one of the best Reed Richards that we've seen, based on just those two little small seconds of him doing that. But I was laughing too, because some guy was talking about it, and he was like, it's so funny that the guy you went to college with is the one that ruins the whole universe for everybody. You meet this guy in college, you're like, oh, this guy, he's probably gonna do things, and then he's like, you're the one that killed the
I honestly think he's gonna prune the whole fucking universe.
Yes, because he's going to make it in his own image. Yeah, he's going to take things from different worlds and then create this I forgot what it's called. It's not Latveria. It's something else called in the comics, but new it's Battle World. We're new it as Battle World, and that's when we're getting everybody back. Like, if anybody didn't see, like I was talking about them in the last episodes, there was leaked pictures of like Hulk and She-Hulk and Peter Quill and other people, White Vision, for these things of Doomsday, based in like this old-timey, very weird, like what do I want to say, like old age kind of timeline. And I think those were leaks for Secret Wars, obviously, but what was I going with this? I lost my train of thought now. For Battle World. So yeah, he's piecing everything for Battle World and making it his own image, but he's putting it in a time, in a century where he's used to. So it's like a very old age, and everyone's going to be dressed in certain ways. And you got the witches, and you got Doctor Strange being his right hand man, and all this and that. Like, they're setting this up to be one of the greatest comic book movies, two-part comic book movies of all time. We thought Infinity War and Endgame was great. This will probably take both of those movies.
Yeah. This is my thing here. I think, and I'm sticking to this theory, guys, that he is gonna start noticing all this shit, and he's gonna take it upon himself. But I think there's gonna be I think, remember that bomb that they were gonna set off and Deadpool Wolverine?
Yes.
I think he goes in there, makes minor little adjustments, redoes it, and I think he starts planning it in different universes. And I think he probably makes like little miniature bombs, and without nobody knowing, he's just.
Mm-hmm.
And when he realizes that none of you guys are gonna help me do this, then I gotta do it myself. He starts detonating these fucking small, like, time traveling atomic bombs that sends them to the void. Just prunes these fucking universes. And because I just thought about it right now, there's a scene where Johnny Storm is holding his nephew.
Yeah.
And you see this bright light. How do we know that bright light's not them being pruned out? And then read, like, what the fuck did you do this? Like, because I'm assuming that they're gonna be in some place where you see, I feel like, I'll bet you anything, just as a fuck you to the DCU, they're gonna do kind of that little scene like in the Flash, when you see all these
Flashpoint where they're
and I think you're gonna just start seeing them exploding, boom, 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 and Breach like, what the fuck? And obviously he'll have his little watch, and they're like, yeah, these are like small little implosions happening in these universes, like they're just disappearing from the face of the fucking in the whole lapse of time, and then he'll be like, what the fuck? Like his calculations are like, wait, no, this can't be done. This unless, and that's when he's probably yelling. I'm like, yo, did you fucking do this? Like, because the only other smart guy that would be able to make these type of fucking things happen would be
Dr. Doom. Also, too, this was an early leak. Way, I don't know if you remember this, but
this happened in Comic-Con. I saw this leak in Comic-Con though.
Yeah, there was another one. There was one like maybe a year before, to where they were saying that he was hopping to different universes and murking them himself. So from what I remember is, I think he hops into the Fox X-Men universe and then finds out that they're doing this and tells them like, hey, if you do my bidding, I'll let your universe live. So I think that's why The X-Men are the ones that are going out and doing his shit for them. Like, hey, go to this Earth, this one, and plant these devices and blow them up. And then I'll let your universe live. Because there's also one that was saying that Wolverine and Deadpool were supposed to be going to Toby's universe and planting this bomb. And then he fights Wolverine and Deadpool leaves him hanging and they both die or something like that. So the opening intro for this movie has changed so many times where it's like, oh, the X-Men are fighting Spider-Man. Oh, the X-Men are going to fight Spider-Man Doc Ock. Or, oh, no, he's going to fight Wolverine. Like, so I don't know what it is. It might be an amalgamation of both, but I remember them saying that Doom was hopping to different universes himself and murking all these universes and pruning it himself because obviously the TVA wasn't doing that. Because people were saying like, oh, there might be a scene where he goes and defeats the whole Council of Kang himself.
I
You
feel
know?
like I feel if you're gonna open up, I feel like if you're gonna go Infinity War and you're gonna open up finally, remember they kept giving us Thanos here and there, and you open up the fucking scene, a ruined ship, Thor fucking busted up, busted lip, and then I don't know, in the brink of defeat by Thanos and his goons, and here comes Hulk trying to smash, and then what does Thanos do? Fucking single-handedly beats the shit out of the most powerful fucking being in the universe, just single-handedly beats him up, and then fucking discards him like nothing. That was a great way to introduce the big bad to show you like he's about business tonight.
Yeah,
So
that was,
I
was
think
really good.
I think what better way to do that is to open up something like that. Like you said, he is probably out there pruning or you know, get in there and destroy these fucking destroy the Council of Kangs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's what I think that's what from I remember one of the earlier leaks was he was doing that. And the scene, if you look at it, of him sitting in, oh my god, that's opening scene of the second trailer where he's just sitting there, legs open, just like a fucking badass. I
I feel like
think
that's gonna be the ending. I think that's the end of the Citadel where
I think
fucking
so. But I think
I think it's him just sitting.
where his castle is where he who remains. So from what I remember, basing on him going to different universes, he goes to where at the end of season one where Loki and what's her name go to. And I think he overtakes that, and that's his new headquarters and whatnot. But I do believe that scene is the ending scene where we just, oh my god, that would be if he kills everybody and that's the scene that they end on, the whole theater is not leaving with a dry eye at all. Like
I think you
that's
have to open him as the
crazy.
big bad. You have to. I think you have to open him up as the big bad. Then like I say, he either murks the Council of Kangs, or they give us that famous scene where he kills Thanos and rips his
Oh
spine
yeah.
off, and then takes the
Ooh.
Infinity Stones for himself.
They could. There's so many possibilities of how this movie could start or how this, but yeah, you definitely have to. This is not you. Oh, let's just introduce them little by little and make no. This is like, boom, this is Doom. Here you go. And you're like, okay. And then he just does this fucking crazy shit. And there's like, he means business.
Hmm.
You fucked with something he doesn't like, and now he's going to take it in his own hands, and you're all fucked. Everyone's dead. And no, I don't think anybody's getting spared. I think
Oh,
everybody's dying. Everybody. Because it has to match the level of intensity and emotion that Infinity War gave. Because when everyone, half of the world was snapped. I don't know how for your experience, but from my experience, I was like, holy shit! Like
oh yeah, I was like,
half of everybody's gone. Like, how are they going to come from this? Like, it was like that moment, that nobody fucking realized, and I think it has to match that or go way above that. So we're definitely
I,
seeing some people murked.
I obviously, yeah, I think you're gonna see major death, but I think the final thing is, I think he prunes everybody.
Yeah.
I think he looks at what Kang was doing was like, okay, it makes sense what you're doing. You're pruning all these events, Nexus events. You're pruning them. I think he takes hold of Loki. I think he takes hold of Goliath, and I think he makes these miniature arc reactor fucking time bombs and plants them throughout. Because I feel like we're gonna see them fucking jumping. Because as far as I know, someone made a fan poster saying there's technically four known different universes right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we could be traveling. You got the Fantastic Four universe, X-Men universe, Sam Raimi's universe, and the main MCU universe. And you could be traveling to all these motherfuckers, and he starts, like I said, maybe they encounter the TVA, and the TVA is telling them what's going on, and they kind of catch them up to what they've been doing behind the scenes, and everyone's kind of like, what the fuck, and maybe he finds that big ass device like we see in Deadpool Wolverine, and he fucking realizes that I can make a smaller version of this without these fuckers detecting it, and I'm just gonna just drop them all these places and then set the timer,
That could be why there's a
and then
timer, you know?
yeah, and he prunes everyone back. He prunes everyone into the fucking void. And then he gets to be with Loki, and he fucking either murks him or fucking jacks his powers. In the end of the scene, that's when he sits down on the throne like this, because I'm done. I did what I needed. I did what you guys have failed to do. You guys have stolen lives. You guys have fucked with the time stream. I'm gonna correct it. And then Secret Wars is basically gonna be all these motherfuckers in one fucking disdained part of the universe, and they're all gonna fight it out.
Yeah. And
And
I
they're
mean,
and they're
somehow,
and
somewhere they'll come out of their senses and be like, oh, shit, you know?
Well, I think they're all gonna find them. Like some of them are gonna. I think the movie's gonna be split by. There's gonna be a certain portion is gonna be sent to the void, and a certain portion is gonna be going into Reed's fucking ship, and then fight, which is basically gonna be the space arc, and they're
Mhm.
gonna fly out. And then part two is basically gonna be the ones that were avoided going to the void are gonna try to find a way to get their friends out of the void, and you're gonna have this big ass movie gonna be and take place in two separate times, in the void, and then the main time stream fighting Doctor Doom to get their friends out of the void, and
So,
finding ways
so kind of
to
like
get
how Endgame was, where they were going back in time while everyone was doing that. So
it's gonna be that. Watch, I'm telling you, that's how it's gonna be.
that could be interesting. That could be interesting.
And
But
I think at the end, it's gonna be like everything has to implode, and everything just turns into one.
hmm,
But at the same time, sacrifices have to be made, and that's why because obviously Kevin Feige has said, I want to give the X-Men universe their fucking swan song. I think at the end they realize not all of us can live. Some of us have to fucking go to save billions, zillions, whatever, to save the entire universe. Some of us have to sacrifice, and I think you're gonna see sacrifices happening. You're gonna, you know, to
yeah,
get there.
you're gonna definitely see the X-Men universe pretty much go. Sam Raimi's, Andrew Garfield's, um, some of the other ones that probably aren't announced yet that we know are coming. They're definitely gonna give up their lives for the entire of the universe. Because I mean, there has to be that. There was something else I was going to say that it talked about Secret Wars or Doomsday, but yeah, this is definitely going to be a movie we're definitely going to be talking about way more now with the drop of the second trailer and obviously the little bits and pieces that we're going to be hearing for the rest of the year until December.
Or my biggest thing is obviously you give a big send off, but maybe at the end game would be that are the main characters become the watchers of the universe. They can never interfere. They become, how Loki at the end just tied everything up
Yeah.
into like and just held on to it. One man can't held on to it. But let's say you got Xavier, all these fools that say, you know what, we're also gonna fucking help out and tie all this shit together because it's like it took one guy was able to dethrone everything. There needs to be a council watching over the fucking whole entire universe. We can never interfere, we can never intervene, but we're just watch everything unfold.
Well, that's why
To
we have the
avoid
Watcher for the Watcher that was introduced in What If. He's supposed to be that person, but I don't know if they're saving him for something or I don't know.
I'm
But
saying I'm just spitballing and
yeah,
everything.
well, I mean, we'll see. There definitely has to be somebody or a few people that are going to have to hold because I mean, He Who Remains had it pretty well, but I mean, he's dead now. So you kind of have to figure out, okay, well, how can we make this work? One man cannot hold all that power.
Well, he
Shout out
did,
to
but that's what he made a fucking department to do the bidding from. Like, hey, you know what?
yeah,
You
go
guys
ahead and prune this and mix it less on me. But yeah, dude, this we're gonna see so much shit, and we're gonna talk about so much shit for the next couple of episodes because
Oh, for sure,
this
for
is gonna
sure.
be super exciting.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But fuck, I think that's it right there. I mean, we talked about the reviews, and the review of the trailer. Obviously we'll be back once again. Obviously we keep colliding, our universes keep colliding into one. But obviously we'll talk about Encore, which will be dropping in the next couple weeks.
Yes. So I'm definitely gonna go see that, and I'm
Oh,
probably
for
gonna
sure.
do. We'll probably do a review about Encore.
Oh, most
So
definitely, most definitely. I know Penny will be mad, like, what the fuck. I know he's like, you're cheating on me, and I'm like, no, I'm not, dude. I'm cheat, but I'm loyal.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, that's your logic, I got mine. That's your
Yeah,
universe.
I know. I gotta handle. You know what? Maybe he might be our Victor Von Doom. He might prune this universe.
Penny Von Doom.
Penny Von Doom. Oh, I should make him Penny Von Doom. Knowing him, he'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. But now, yeah, I mean, I don't know anything else we got to add tonight. I mean, today for this episode.
No, I mean, I think that's it. With that, and then the Wolverine game that's coming out in a couple weeks. That's going to be fun and
That looks
exciting.
badass. That looks badass for sure, for
So
sure. I'm
we'll
excited.
definitely talk about that one. Once we come back again and collide and whatnot. I'm hopefully going to get my hands on it, or my claws on it, and
There
then
you go.
definitely play the game and see what it is. Because I mean, it looks fucking great. It looks fucking
I can
great.
assume it looks badass. But it look from the little things I've been seeing people posting, it looks badass. I'm debating it because it's kind of like, I'm not a big video game guy anymore. I don't got time for it, so it's kind of like I feel like I'm throwing away money because I'm probably gonna play it when I first install it, and then play for it maybe a day or two, and then it's just gonna sit there.
For a couple of months.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, fuck. So
Yeah, I mean that's the life of a dad, I guess.
yeah,
You're so
and
busy.
I'll just live vicariously through you. Then you can tell me.
Yeah, I'll definitely be like, hey, bro, check out So
Yeah, I'll probably do that, but I'll see. Like, I'll see what's up. I'll see what's up for sure. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Geek In Geek Out when podcasts collide. Make sure y'all follow us on every major platform. You want to plug in your shows and all this other scheduled episodes you got coming up?
yeah, so I just dropped an episode. I just dropped an episode last Saturday with my friend Kiko and the kiddos. I have some other things planned. We got some people coming on. Mission logs in the next week or two, hopefully. I definitely got some stuff to talk about on that one. But if you want, you guys can find me on all streaming platforms inside the Northside podcast. If you guys want to check out the mission logs and some of the other episodes that I have them directly on YouTube inside the Northside podcast. If you can, please subscribe and like. I want to try to get to 100 subscribers towards the end of the year. We have a few months, so I think it's possible.
Hmm.
So if you can help me out, let's try to get to 100. You know, I'm definitely going to try to put out some more content. I'm going to try to figure out other ways to put some more stuff on YouTube so then people are not just kind of like, oh, what am I subscribing for? I got to keep up there. I'm putting reels of some of the episodes and whatnot. So that helps. But yeah. Um, what else do I have to plug in as well? Uh, I think that's it. Just the podcast and the mission logs and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I also hear Professor Xavier calling me for some reason. I think I clogged the toilet. I don't remember. Wolverine told me to flush it a certain way, so I think he's calling me. So we might have to cut this a little bit. So
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in, sign in. New episode of Rambling Alcoholics out right now. Episode 383 is out in all major platforms. New episode this week of Rambling, and then Geek In Geek Out will be out. Obviously, you guys are watching; it's out already. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. What
yes,
else?
like, comment, subscribe. Oh yes, Professor, I'm fucking coming. Hold on.
Boom.